we're all walking towards the end of this motherfucker, right?
Right. Yeah, no doubt.
You got hit with MS.
Yes.
Aside from the obvious with your walking and the cane and shit, like how has your walk changed?
It has made me, I have, because of my religious upbringing and because of the cool people I've lived around and their philosophies in life, I've always been grateful for what I have. And the connection I made when you said legacy, like I had several conversations with my mother's father, my grandfather. I know him peripherally as a young man and just like granddad conversations. But what I know from what he did for a living, I can't imagine he lived his life the way he wanted to. I imagine that he had a whole bunch of menial jobs that he just did to get from A to B to make sure that my mother and her brothers were fed. I feel like I live now, even with my condition, I live in a situation my grandfather could only dream about. I'm sorry, he didn't only dream about. He worked for this. My grandfather worked for this. I love my life. I spend all day making art that uplifts and explains my people to other people and sharing that art and helping them explain their art and how to explain their family. I love my life. I don't know if my grandfather did, but my grandfather did what he did, so I would have the opportunity to love my life. I think my father loved his life more than my grandfather did, but as I look at how he worked, I can't imagine he loved all of it. But maybe he did, but it seemed like some of it seemed like hell to me, you know what I'm saying, having an office job, but he did that so I could do what I do. You know what I'm saying? And his life was more comfortable than his father's life. And my grandfather's life was more comfortable than his grandfather's life. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping, and I know I can't control it. Sometimes there's a generational setback, but I'm feeling that my sons are gonna even be more like, I'm where I belong. So MS, and I say all that to say, MS would feel differently if I didn't love my life. If I had, instead of taking my own advice and finding how to live in the world where I could be an artist full time, like I could have been a marketing director or worked at a credit union and I make okay money now, but I could have made good money 10 years ago. And I would have hated it. I probably would have had a coke habit or something, trying to like forget about what I do all day, but I would have had the obvious trappings of success. I still would have ended up with MS, and I would be stuck somewhere, stuck in a situation where that I don't love, also not being able to move. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if I'm stuck. There are medications. I'm switching healthcare providers. My last healthcare provider ruined my life. I'm not gonna say their name, Kaiser Permanente. If I had never had them, my life would be better. But I've got a new healthcare provider, and I've got new doctors that I'm seeing very soon. I might need to speed it up because my condition just feels weird. From what I understand, it does like this for a lot of people. Most people it does this and you have moments. Some people it just does this. We hadn't gotten to the point where my doctors in my previous healthcare had figured out which one it is. I'm mentally preparing for either one. But I'm also, something I learned from my religious upbringing, and I use and I feel guilty about it because I don't completely like it. Best way to say it. My favorite gospel song is Thank You. I think it's Walter Hawkins. Thank you, Lord, for all you've done for me. Your viewers right now started singing along and know the verse, like how it goes, right? And part of the song is like, it could have been me with no clothes and no food and no home, but God, you spared me so I could be in a good place. I've never felt comfortable with, I feel grateful because I see your life sucks.
Yeah.
That's never, like, it felt good when I was first raised in it. And I was like, yeah, man, I see homeless people and it's not me. And now that I was like, but can I just be happy? Because do I need you to not be happy?
Comparison to something?
Comparison. So I try to avoid that, but I'm inundated and I know how many people don't like their lives. And I know that I am blessed to like my life as much as I do. And so I can't avoid that part of me that's like, no, I get it. I see, I have neighbors and I have friends and I have people who seem to have everything. I wouldn't be Elon Musk for anything.
Yeah.
Like, his life sucks.
Yeah.
He's got torment and turmoil.
He looks lonely.
He is lonely. He's confused. Like, there's nothing about his life that I want.
Prison in his own mind. He looks like he's a prisoner of his own mind. It looks sad, bro.
It's sad. And they tell you that when you're younger, like, yeah, rich people, you don't want to be, Jesus said the eye of the needle thing. Like, yeah, and I'm glad Elon made himself visible so we can be like, oh, yeah, no, I don't, nah. I would rather have my children love me than be 100 billionaire. Like, and I don't want to be hungry, but I don't need 100 billion in exchange for the love of, like, no. And so I am very grateful. I am mad. We said before the camera was rolling, I was telling you, I am mourning the man that I wanted to be. Like, I'll be honest, like, and I mean this so seriously, I don't want all the women, but I do want all the women to want me. And I'm handicapped now. And I was making plans to be this like strong, dashing, accomplished, you know what I'm saying? And like, I'm just upset. Like, I wanted to just be turning them down, be like, nah, you know, I got too many things. But I wanted to be the man that men wanted to be like and women wanted to be with. And I know aspects of my life are, but not the part of me that needs a cane. You know what I'm saying? And that hurts.
That you don't factor that into the equation when you were envisioning that swag and them Heismans to all the ladies. Wasn't no cane in that image.
There was no cane involved in that. And so that's where I am now. And I have to, like, you know, I'm reconciling that.
What about the physical piece of it, man? You were real active before and shit. And you got, you know, you got little ones.
So, I mean, that's the part, and I have to prepare myself to say it so I don't cry. The part that makes me upset is like my son will never see me run. You know what I'm saying? I have a 2-year-old. Like, I was supposed to have been a capoeirista right now and playing with my kids and stronger than the average 47-year-old. And I'm not. I'm weaker than the average 47-year-old. My doctors told me that my will and determination is amazing because the amount of heavy lifting and moving around that I did while MS was setting in, it doesn't make sense to them how much I pulled this heavy cart in my sound system and did this 4 shows a day, 6 shows a day. Like your determination made it look like you weren't struggling, but the doctor was like, I don't know how you did all those things with the scars on your spine the way they are. You know what I'm saying? So I've been overachieving physically for a long time. Part of it, it's completely a physical thing in the sense that there's some things that I can't do anything about, but part of it is psychological. My mood does change my walk. You know what I'm saying? And so one of the reasons I feel like I'm in a downward part of the up and down is I'm in the first year and a half of realizing what my problems are. And depression and anxiety on top of multiple sclerosis is making the multiple sclerosis even work. And I need to, my wife is doing a great job of helping me try to figure out what life looks like now that I'm not the guy that I imagined. And I'm still like, I can't complain about 95% of things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm blessed for that. You know what I'm saying? My children love me. My children respect me. I am glad that I raised my sons to respect me rather than fear me. Because some people raise their sons because you think you can still kick their ass when they're 20 or 25. And
you raised them motherfuckers is cut like
I've been training them
6 and 8 packs and triceps,
and they've been training to fight.
No fat,
and
nowhere.
So like they need to, at my stage where I am physically, they need to like me.
They need to like you.
To do what I asked them to do. Like you. They need to be like, oh, Facts. I love this guy.
Facts.
Facts. I'm gonna follow him in what he says because he loves me and I love him. Because I'm not like, no, you know what I'm saying? I can't. That was taken from me. So I had to figure out, I'm glad that I didn't lead with that. If I had led with that, then I'd be in so much trouble.
I feel like your life, man, has been, and this is just me projecting, so please
move
the shit. However way you want to move it. it goes back to what you were saying about God is a masochist. That's like one piece of that, of the way that story can be interpreted.
Right.
Looking at your life, bro. And I'm seeing pieces fit together. And things preparing and setting up and things moving to prepare.
Experiences that I couldn't explain, now all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm glad I went through that. And now I got it.
And as you were talking earlier about your music, about the Watermelon Man 2 and Malcolm Little, Malcolm X, or Detroit Red, Malcolm X, Shabazz. Like, these are stages.
Yeah.
And your life feels very similar in that way, bro. And this illness is fucked up. There's no cure, right?
Right. People deal with it better now than they did in the 80s. They told me I'm lucky I didn't have this as a 40-year-old in the 80s, but it's still, there's no cure.
Like, even your mindset, bro, for like how you see adversity and how you overcome, I can't explain any of this shit to you, dog. It just feels like things are structuring themselves in a way that's just gonna allow what you've been doing to continue. And even in the idea what you were saying, with the boys needing to see you in a certain way, like, you're Baba Bomani, bro. Like, that's who you are. Like, not just by what you say, like, you are an example.
I appreciate that.
Of moving shit and overcoming shit and dealing with shit and sharing shit and connecting shit. And then you got this fucking shit MS come along and it'll be like, oh, something else for a nigga to move?
Yeah.
And it's like but I feel confident as a person who appreciates your energy, man, and your light, that you're gonna, just like all the other shit that you do, find ways to make that motherfucker ill too.
Yeah, I feel like, and I don't know if I figured out a way to articulate it like this before now, but one of the things I did recognize as a young person, and we're all living in a tragedy. We're all living in a tragedy. Some people, unfortunately, it's a lifelong tragedy. There's bad shit happening all the time, but no matter how good things are, someone's gonna die, we're gonna die. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I'm not like depressed about it, but I've always been and the song I didn't play for you is a song called Loving Life. And it's about me taking a moment, and this is literally a year before I found out I had MS. And I was like, everything is good right now. Let me just take a moment and say, everything is good right now. And I started the song off, there's a rhyme to it, but I'm like, everything is good right now. I know how life works. Everything's not always gonna be good, but let me take a moment right now to be like, right now everything is all good. You know what I'm saying? Because I've grown up with that reality. I understand that I live a charmed life, but something's going to go wrong. My father lost his brother getting shot in a card game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm nothing horribly horrible. I mean, my father passed, but he passed with time. It was a kidney failure, but I have a friend, my closest frat brother, the guy, Mark Hatcher, who plays the guitar on the majority of my stuff, lost his father as a teenager. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think to myself, I'm blessed because I saw it happen to him. and it didn't happen to me. That's why I'm blessed. But I am glad that I have an example in my head where I'm like, no matter what I plan, like we're all in a tragedy. Like I try not to get emotional thinking like my 2-year-old might not get to know me, might not know me at 16. It could not have anything to do with MS. You know what I'm saying? It just, life is just going life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I don't take comfort in the fact that I'm going through something that I'm not going through other people's horrors. But I do be like, oh, I see that horrors happen, and I've emotionally prepared myself to be like, it's gonna happen. And how do I maintain when it happens? And that's also why I needed to make sure that I rooted myself in something that really mattered. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm so glad. I'm so glad that that my father gave me the space to chase my dreams. And so now I am fighting MS while being the man I wanted to be. While I'm fighting MS. I could be fighting MS and fighting imposter syndrome. You know what I'm saying? I could be fighting MS and being at a desk job that I don't like. You know what I'm saying? But I'm fighting MS while trying to maintain the life that I had built. And that's, relatively speaking, that's not that bad.